Welcome. If you're an SAP implementation consultant, you already know that integrations can absolutely make or break a project. So what we're going to do here is build your definitive 5-minute playbook for getting SAP S/4HANA Cloud integration set up the right way. So, picture this. You've just wrapped up the Fit to Standard workshops, and boom, a really critical integration requirement lands right on your desk. The pressure is on. So what's your first move? Do you start mapping out a custom build from scratch? Well, hold on a sec. Before you do anything, let's make sure you're taking the smartest path forward. Okay, let's dive into our playbook. First, we're going to tackle the path of least resistance, which is finding pre-packaged content. Then we'll look at how to automate the setup, what to do when you actually do need a custom build, and maybe most importantly, we'll clarify your exact role in that whole process. Okay, rule number 1, and this is a big one. Your first move always should be to see if SAP has already done the heavy lifting for you. Before you even think about custom code, you've got to master the art of finding existing, pre-built solutions. And when you're hunting for this treasure, there are 2 spots on the map marked with a giant X. First is the SAP Signivio Process Navigator. You're going to want to search it for any best practices that have integration in the title. Second is the SAP Help Portal. You have to do a deep dive here. Seriously, I'm not kidding. Skipping this step is probably the biggest mistake consultants make, and it leads to weeks of wasted effort solving problems that, well, were already solved. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. How you use this prepackaged content totally changes depending on the project. For a brand new greenfield implementation, it's pretty straightforward, right? You just activate the process with Solution Builder and follow the guide. But, and this is a big but, for a system conversion, you can't use Solution Builder. Instead, you've got to manually build the process to mirror the SAP best practices, and then you can use those same setup instructions. It's a subtle difference, but it is absolutely critical. Okay, so, great news. You've found an SAP best practices integration that fits. Fantastic. But wait, your work isn't done yet. Before you resign yourself to hours and hours of manual setup, you have to ask one very important question. Can we automate this? And this is where the Cloud Integration Automation Service, or CIAS, comes into play. Just think of it as your digital assistant. It's a totally free service on the business technology platform that takes these long, complicated setup guides and transforms them into a guided, partially automated workflow. We're talking about a massive time saver that also cuts down on manual errors. And here's the cool part about how CIS works. It breaks the whole setup process into 3 types of tasks. You've got your fully automated tasks, where CIS is just using APIs to do the configuration for you. Then there are semi-automated tasks, where it just needs a little bit of input from you, like a tenant URL. And for everything else, it acts like a smart checklist, showing you the exact piece of the setup guide you need for any manual steps. So, where do you find this amazing service? Well, it's pretty straightforward. After a one-time setup, there are 2 main places you can launch it from. You can fire up the CIS app directly from SAP Cloud ALM, which is great for keeping everything right inside your project. Or you can get to it through the maintenance planner in SAP for Me. Now, quick reality check. Not every single integration is supported yet. But given the huge efficiency boost, it's a check you have to make every single time. Okay. But what happens when you've looked everywhere? You've searched high and low, and there just isn't a prepackaged solution for your client's unique need. Now, and only now, do we go down the path of custom development. This is your last resort. And your main destination for this part of the journey is the SAP Business Accelerator Hub. Think of this as your official catalog, your Lego store for all the building blocks you're going to need for a custom integration. So what is it, really? Well, it's this public library of APIs and other resources, and they come from both SAP and its partners. What's really cool is that everything is documented in an open, vendor-neutral format, which makes connecting SAP to, say, a non-SAP application so much easier. Plus, customers can actually trust the stability of these APIs, because SAP has a really clear deprecation policy. All right, let's pause here because this next part is super important. When a custom build is the only way to go, what is your specific role as the implementation consultant? It is so easy to get this wrong. Let's be crystal clear on this. Your job is not to write the code. I'll say it again. You are not the developer. Your responsibility is to be the expert guide, the Sherpa. You use your knowledge to dig through the Business Accelerator Hub and identify all the potential APIs and resources that the customer's development team can then use to build the solution.
So you are the bridge. You find the tools, you share them with the customer's developers, and then you track the requirement all the way to completion in SAP Cloud ALM. The customer's team, they own the design, the build, and the maintenance. And this is so important because it makes sure they understand their own custom solution for the long haul.
So there you have it. That's your simple 3-step integration playbook. Step 1, always search for prepackaged solutions first. Step 2, if you find one, check if you can automate the setup with CIS. And step 3, only as a last resort, guide the custom build using all the great resources in the Business Accelerator Hub. You know, sticking to this playbook will make you a much more strategic and way more efficient consultant. So I'll leave you with this question. Which one of these tools, Sineavo, CAS, or the Business Accelerator Hub, are you going to make a point to use on your very next project? Hey, welcome. So if you're managing a